Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing a bit of an unusual video, not something I would typically do on this channel, but today we are going to be doing a personal account review. I do a lot of account reviews and unit reviews for other people, but today we're going to be doing it for my account alone. Now, I've done a couple videos like these in the past. Way back at the start of my YouTube career, I made a video titled $1,500 spent on Genshin in 5 months, and it was like an account review video. And then later I made a video called 1 year on Genshin, $5,000 spent. Now I don't recommend going back to watching these videos. They're really old and my account was not as good then. And also I don't even think I talk in the videos if I remember correctly. They're not my pride and joy of my YouTube career. I like to make these videos because I feel like they're good for comparison purpose, so I can look at where I've started to where I've come in my Genshin career. Without further ado, let's get into the video. First things first, I think we should take a look at my AR level. We are so close to AR 60. There's gonna be a video coming very soon where I announce finally I've got the AR 60. I know a lot of people have already got it. I'm like dangerously close to getting it. I haven't been playing as much Genshin recently. I find a lot of the new story quests very time consuming and I don't enjoy them as much, but hopefully I can get this pretty soon. As for my character archive, I do have every single character in the game. I used to whale pretty early days for a couple characters, like very early days. I'd say I probably whaled all the way until I'd say about Raiden Shogun is when I stopped whaling on the game, quote unquote. I'm not sure if you could really define it as whaling because I only spent enough to get each character. But after Raiden Shogun, I stopped whaling because that's when I started YouTube. And, you know, if you ever have motivation to become, you know, a YouTuber or an influencer or really whatever you want to do, Genshin does start giving you primos. It's part of their fund for advertising their game. And so I really haven't had to spend money on the game in quite a long time. So I say between the Arataki Ito and the Alhaitham banners, I really haven't spent money other than the battle pass on this game, which has been very nice. Even though I do have every character and I do roll for everyone, I would never recommend doing this. I think you should prioritize characters that you like. But for me, you know, it's just more content and I enjoy making the rolling videos and the building videos. Those are very fun for me. If there's one character I'd say I regret rolling for, it'd probably be Klee. Just because I still have her level 20. She's not even level 80 yet. I remember I rolled on her banner twice and I accidentally got a constellation for Klee. I have her C1 and still level 20. I did this because I really wanted Jean and I didn't have her yet. So I spent like an extra $100 trying to get a Jean and I just got a second Klee on the banner. So I'd definitely say my biggest regret is Klee. If I could, I would love to level her up. I just, you know, don't have the resources as of right now. Something new that I've implemented with Genshin is the HoyoLab site, which lets you look at a lot of information on your account and what you've done. So I want to take a quick look at that quickly, just to see some of my statistics over time. So if we go here, they have a bunch of different stuff. You can see your summary. You can see I've been active for 629 days. I have 600 achievements, all the characters. I have most of the waypoints unlocked. I think I'm still missing a couple. I got all the Animoculus, all the Geoculus, all the Electrooculus. Don't have all the gender ones yet. Bit tedious to do those. I doubt anyone probably has them. Spiral Abyss, I haven't done that rotation yet. And there's a couple chest stats. You can see my character archives here and all my builds, but we'll go more into detail with that later. We can look at the Genshin TGC cards, which is kind of interesting. I don't really play this game anymore. I think it's kind of fallen off for most people. I doubt too many people are interested in this anymore, but I do have all the cards in the game and I have a lot of the card backs. I don't have them all, but I got a couple of them. As for world exploration, I've completed Leeway 100%, Mondstadt 100%, Dragonspine 100%, Inazuma 100%, and then Enkonomia. I still need that extra 10%. I don't know, I feel like there's nothing left in Enkonomia. I feel like I've done it all. The Chasm, I got 100%. The Underground Mines, I have not yet. And then Sumeru, still at 35%. I honestly have not explored this region all that much yet. My Serenitea pot is maxed out. As for my Spiral Abyss overviews, they've not been great as of recent. My last set was 27 stars. I didn't even bother with floor 12 last time. I know, not great. Next things next, let's take a look at my quest list. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting behind on quests recently. I have not been doing my latest story quest. I really should. I haven't even done the latest interlude chapter yet. just because, I don't know, the quests are just getting so much longer and longer, and they're getting really tedious to do. And some of these I really don't have a lot of interest in these characters. I like Sino, but other than that, I don't really care about Alhaitham. Nahida, I guess, is kind of cool. Dendro Archon and that. And Nilo, I guess. The Hangouts, I've done most of them, actually. The only ones I didn't do is Sayu and Toma, because I didn't really care about their characters. But other than that, I've really done them all. Let's look at my inventory next. My weapons, I do have a lot of 5-star weapons, I won't lie. A lot of these are just from Standard Banner, like Skyward, Aquila, Skyward Blade. I got 2 Skyward Spines on my account, I forgot about that. I also have 2 Aquilas on my account, not the luckiest thing ever, but you know what, it is what it is. I did roll for the Jade Cutter and get lucky, which was pretty nice. Skyward's Pride, I have R2. I have like all the Skyward weapons. I have 2 of each Skyward weapon. I was going to use a separate Skyward Pride and make it like 2 of them, but you know what? This weapon isn't the greatest ever, and I couldn't even think of another character to use it on. But the only weapon banner ones I've rolled for are Jade Cutter, Calamity Queller, 1,000 Floating Dreams, which I didn't want, to be honest. I wanted Thundering Pulse for my Yue Mia, but I got unlucky and got this instead. And then I also rolled for Polar Star. And I think that was all of the weapons that I've rolled for thus far. You kind of notice the theme is that all the weapons are either green or blue. I swear, this game, I'm not allowed any purple or red 5 stars. It's just not allowed, not allowed. As for my 4-star weapons, nothing too interesting here. I have a R5 Hamayumi on my Ganyu. I got an R5 Rust, R5 Widsith. I kind of went all out with the battle pass for black swords at one point. So I have an R5 black sword on my Kaching and an extra one on my Ayato, which is kind of funny. Is there any weapons here I really regret building? I don't think so. I really like all these weapons, to be honest. They're all good in their own respects. I guess the fish has been kind of useless. Fish on Beto really isn't all that good. So neither is the Fading Twilight. I think I built this weapon because I needed a substitute for Favonius. But this weapon really hasn't been all that useful on my account. I also happen to have 2 death matches. One is R3 at level 90. The other one is R1, and it's currently not being used on anyone, so I should probably get that on someone pretty soon. But that is about it for all my weapons. I'm actually have 1,000 weapons in my inventory right now, so I have a ton of weapons going unused. Do I have any 3-star weapons that I should acknowledge? I do have an R5 Slingshot, and then I have a Thrilling Tales, which I do plan to build at some point. I just haven't got around to it yet. Artifacts. I got a lot of artifacts, a lot of lock gold ones. None of these are really like exceptional, but they're all pretty decent at least. I never really go for any 2 coat pieces on my account. I just try to get, you know, the best pieces I can, and you know, sometimes I get unlucky, sometimes I don't. Recently, we've been getting pretty unlucky, but you know what? We try our best. I have a lot of artifact fodder here, though, that I would like to get rid of. My inventory, I'm not really a grinder. I don't go out of my way to farm hilly churls or farm slimes and collect like 900 of these. I really just kind of get them as I play the game. I have a lot of these heavy horns. I really don't use these for anything. I also happen to have like a million chaos gears because just nobody needs these. Ever. Oh my gosh, and don't even get me started on the inactivated fungal nucleus. You don't need these for anybody. You only need these ones. You only need the crystalline dust. You never need the inactivated ones. It's so annoying. I do have a lot of the boss mats from different bosses. I got some Dvalin ones. I got some Tales of Boreas. I have stopped doing these recently as I found that like I really don't take my characters past like 888. So the more I grind these, I just feel like I'm wasting resin on them. The only boss I've really been grinding is Scaramouche as of recent, and even then I kind of missed a couple weeks on that. I also don't grind boss fats very much, as you can see here. I don't really find much point in it. I have a lot of stones. I feel like I have like no dendro ones though. For some reason I have like 0 dendro stones. Talon books, all pretty normal there. And where are my crowns? Here they are, 12 crowns. I have 12 crowns on my account that I have not given out yet. So we could take, I could crown a lot of characters theoretically. It's just not something I've got around to yet because I'm pretty indecisive on what characters I want to prioritize over other characters. Food. I really don't farm food all that much. Nothing interesting to see here. I just kind of make it as I get it. Sometimes I make 20 for the battle pass, but that's about it. Farming materials, I'm a little low on prototype swords, but other than that, it's all pretty normal. Again, I really don't go out of my way to grind any of this. I just kind of get what I need. I am a bit of a fisher though. I got a handful of fish here. But other than that, nothing too interesting here. I have a lot of the gadgets, but I did miss a couple early game ones. Quest items, again, nothing too interesting to see here. As for my precious items, I do have one Northlander's billet that I haven't used yet. I'm just kind of saving this in case, I don't know, a really good billet comes out that I would want to, in case a really good craftable weapon comes out that I would use. I haven't claimed my cake yet because this is a limited item and you can never convince me to claim this. You only get one of these, and even if you click the use button, all you get is a fragile resin. I am holding on to this, just like I'm holding on to the most rare item in the game, the hunting trap. Nobody else has this item except me. I also happen to have 54 Dream Sullivans, which is kind of crazy. I don't know why I have so many of these. It's just I have not found anything to use them on. Other than that, I do use a lot of the Adeptal speed bottles, which I do use a lot of in the Serenitea pot. And speaking of the Serenitea pot, why don't we actually go there right now? I want to show off my Serenitea pot because that is something I put a lot of work into over my time in this game. I won't go too in depth with it, but I do enjoy actually, you know, building and making a Serenitea pot that kind of feels like home. So this is my Serenitea pot. Here's the little area where we spawn. I won't go too into detail with it. I'll just show you guys little glimpses of each area. And you know what? I think my coins are actually capped right now, so let me get those quickly. Get all my EXP. The characters I have in here are just characters, you know, I need to level up. But here's my Serenitea pot. I won't go to each area. I'll just, you know what I'll do is I'll go to placement and I'll just give a little overview of each. If you want to see a full tour of my Serenitea pot, I will link a video in the description of me going around to each area because I did make a video on that previously. But here's just kind of a short overview of each area. This is like a training dojo type area. Really cool there. That's probably my favorite one. This area is, don't trash me on this, but bro, the load limit is 2,500. There was really nothing you could even do with this area. I tried to make something happen, but I don't know. I couldn't figure anything out. And then this is the town area, which I'm pretty proud of. It looks a lot cooler at night, though, because you can have everything lit up. As for the inside, I got some more stuff going in here, too. It's kind of the housing area. Again, I'll just do short glimpses of each area. This is kind of like the main area. You got the bar, the bookshelves, some seating areas. This is like a dojo type area. I was pretty proud of this one, too. We got a little library, which I'm pretty proud of. I thought this area was very roomy. Kitchen area, and then we got a little hallway here. This area is kind of like a bar slash lounge area. Again, I wish I could do more with these places, but the load limit is so small. And then a bedroom. And I think that's about it for my Serenitea pot. So why don't we go and do the final thing, which is taking a look at some of my characters. Now, I have a lot of characters, and I will not go through them all. I have almost every character in the game built. Not every one, but I have a lot of them. But so instead of going through each individual character, I'll just go through some of the ones that, you know, I'm pretty proud of personally. For example, my Ayaka. My Ayaka is definitely my proudest character on my account and the one I have the best built. Her weapon is the Primordial Jade Cutter. Her artifacts are 2-piece Crimson, 2-piece Glad, Constellation 0, and talents are 10, 10, 10. The only character I have at 10, 10, 10. And here are her pieces. These are by far the best pieces on my whole account. I put all my investment into this character. So these 5 pieces right here, I don't think I have any better artifacts on my account than these 5. Those are my most impressive. And you will see her stats are absolutely insane. I mean, 96, 257, it really doesn't get much better than that. I know 4 Blizzard Strider is a little more optimal here, but frankly, my Blizzard Strider pieces are pretty cool. I mean, I don't really have anything other than those 2 pieces that you already saw. And yeah, that's probably the best character on my whole account. We'll look at some other ones though, but you know what? You won't see artifacts as good as my Ayakas for a long time to come on this account. But I do have other good characters. Shenhe, Calamity Queller, one of the only weapons that I wish for. Artifacts, you got 2-piece Glad, 3-piece Emblem. I could use an off-piece, but I just haven't got lucky on any of them yet. There are the pieces, Constellation 0. Talents are 1, 10, 8. I crowned her E, as that is probably one of my favorite abilities in the whole game and makes my Ayaka more nuts than she already is. Overall, Shenhe, I would say, is probably at least in my top 5 favorite characters of all time. Kazuha, Iron Sting, 4-piece Viridescent. His pieces are pretty bad, but they're all EM, so that's why I have them. Constellation is 1. I did wish for a C1 Kazuha because I love Kazuha. He has my favorite skill in the entire game, and being able to use that twice is pretty nice. And the talents are 5, 10, 10. I have heard people tell me to put some investment into the normal attack because apparently increases like the damage or something. I have no idea, but I haven't put too much work into that yet. Kokomi, nothing too interesting about my Kokomi. She's on a pretty basic build, not much to see here. She has some pretty good artifacts though. This piece is really nice with a 20% HP, but I haven't crowned her or anything. She's just a very basic build. Mona is, however, one of my better characters on my account. She has some of my best emblem pieces and an R5 Whipsith. Some of these pieces are pretty nutty. This piece was a 40 crit value piece. This piece is a 40 crit value piece. This piece is nearly 40 crit value. I don't know if it gets there though. This piece is pretty nutty. And this piece is also 40 crit value, almost. I think it might just not get there, but it's pretty close. All like really, really good pieces. For Constellation 4, that's just from losing 50-50s. Nothing else. It's just me losing 50-50s over and over again. And talents are 7, 10, 13. I did double crown her. She is pretty nuts. Her burst does so much damage. I've had this thing do upwards of like 200k. It's crazy in the abyss. You'll see though that her crit rate is pretty low. I could get it better, but the thing is my crit rate hats are just so copium on this account. Like, this is my best crit rate hat and emblem, so I feel like crit damage is just better. Even though the bubble is doing sometimes less, 50% of the time, other times it will just do crazy amounts of damage, and I look for those high numbers. She also has pretty even energy recharge, and she has no hydro damage bonus, but that's because she gets it with her passive, which gives 20% of her energy recharge rate into hydro damage bonus. So that's why I don't run a hydro damage bonus cup on her. Next up is Yoimiya. She's pretty well built. She has 2.2k attack. She is running the Rust R5. Artifacts are the 4-piece Shiwanawa. Nothing too interesting. These pieces are pretty cope, to be honest, but I kind of just gotta run with what I get. Constellation is 0 and talents are 10, 10, 9. She is one of my favorite characters to play. I loved her upon her release. She is so much fun. I don't mind that she's single target. It was a little sad though that she was so underused and nobody really rolled on her banner, but you know what? I love her. I think she's great. Definitely in my top 3 main DPS characters. Ganyu, I don't want to go too into depth into Ganyu, to be honest. She's not too well built. She has some okay Wanderers pieces, nothing great. Constellation 0 and talents are 9, 7, 8. I have not put all that much investment into Ganyu. The only reason she's level 90, and one of the only level 90s on my whole account, is because when I first got her, I just heard that she was the best DPS in the game. I'm like, okay, I gotta take her all the way then. And to be honest, I really don't enjoy playing her that much. I rarely use Ganyu anymore because her charge shot playstyle is just not to my liking. I like fast-paced gameplay, hit things as much as possible, and those charge shots are a little too methodical for me. But next up is probably my favorite character in terms of aesthetic in the game, Kuki Shinobu. Kuki Shinobu is my favorite character in the game, just in terms of lore, appearance, gameplay. Her animations are so clean. Her abilities are not great though, unfortunately. I mean, the burst is pretty trash, and the E is the only redeeming thing about her. However, you'll see here that I put all my investment in her normal attack, which, you know, some people would call me dumb for. I like to think of it as unique. I have her Constellation 2. Even though she's my favorite character, I'm not willing to roll on banners just to get a C6. When I'm using physical Kuki, these really don't help me all that much, to be honest. Artifacts, I got 2-piece Pale Flame, 2-piece Bloodstain. Again, some of these pieces aren't so great. Other ones are a little better than others. Like this 16% crit rate Flower is pretty nutty. This Sands is pretty bad, decent. But overall, I'm pretty proud of my Kuki. I mean, I got her on Aquila. She does pretty crazy damage. And like certain team cons, I can get her to do upwards of like 20 to 30k. She does like pretty good damage. My stats on her aren't all that nuts, but you gotta keep in mind, right, that she doesn't scale with crit rate or crit damage, and she's running a physical weapon, which, to be honest, my physical damage bonus is pretty nutty. 149% is pretty crazy. So you know what? I'm pretty proud of my Kuki Shinobu. I think she definitely can be improved, But as for right now, I think I have her on the best build possible. And the last of my good characters, and the last one we're going to go too in depth on, is Fischl. She is my last level 90 character. I haven't even ascended anybody other than Kaching. Everybody else you'll see here is level 80 or lower, just because I like them less than the main 8 right here, being Ayaka, Shenhe, Kazuha, not Kokomi, and then the 5 after Kokomi are my favorite characters in the game. So that's why I've only taken them to level 90 and not any of my other characters, as my goal for Genshin is to get every single character to level 80, or level 80 and built, sorry. And currently I'm at Alhaitham. Alhaitham is my latest one. He's still level 79. Actually, I never took him to level 80 after that video. Here, let me change that. Bang. There we go. Level 80 Alhaitham. Huge. But after Alhaitham, every single character is 60 or below. Goro's level 70 just because you don't need as much investment on a Goro. But these are all my characters that are still unbuilt. I'm kind of conflicted on which one I want to build next, because I do want to build every one. It's just I'm not sure on which order I want to do it. I should probably build the 5 stars because they're obviously a little better, but I already have Sino and Polearms only. I think the next character I'd probably build out of these ones is most likely Klee, just because I do have her C1, even though I know her DPS isn't as good nowadays. The only characters I really don't want to build are like Aloy and Chi-Chi, and that's about it. Anyways, back to Fischl. This is the last of my level 90 characters. She has 2000 attack, which is pretty nuts. This is because she has a Polar Star on her, which I know is Tartaglia's best in slot, but I really don't use this guy all this often, and he already has a Viridescent Hunt. And Polar Star is actually one of Fischl's best weapons, as it increases her elemental skill damage by 12%, and also has this Ashen Night Star effect, which I won't go too deep into, but it's good for Fischl, just know that. Artifacts, I got the 2-piece Thundering Fury, 2-piece Glad. Constellation is 6. I did roll for C6 Fischl, as this ability is really nutty. And then talents are 3, 13, 11. I crowned her E and left her burst at 11. I could have got this higher, but you really aren't supposed to be using her burst in rotation, so I don't all that often. Her artifacts are pretty good. I mean, this Electro Damage Cup rolled for crit rate 3 times. This isn't the best piece ever, but it's acceptable. This was a pretty good piece that I got really lucky on. Feather is really copium. I should definitely get a better feather for her eventually. This attack stand's kind of nuts. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of my Fischl. Her split is 83, 188, which I think is pretty good. Obviously, I'm using her mainly for Oz, so her raw damage isn't going to be all that high, but, you know, her elemental skill she does pretty crazy damage with her skill. Other than that, those are all my really well-built characters out of the way. The rest of the characters on my account, I can just give you a brief overview of. There's really not that much to see here. Kaching I have on 4P Thunder Soother, just because, I don't even know why I have this anymore, to be honest. I've had this build for so long, and I just haven't bothered changing it. I really should, though. I know this isn't a great set for her. Artaki Ito, missing artifacts. Albedo, 4-piece Husk. Zhongli, 2-piece Tenacity, 2-piece Oblige. You're missing artifacts. I'm still working on so many artifacts on a lot of characters. Venti's missing artifacts. Jean, 5-piece Viridescent. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm missing artifacts on so many characters, man. Yamiko's missing artifacts. Alhaitham's missing artifacts. As you can see, my account is still a work in progress, as I'm sure everybody's account is. But eventually, my goal is to have every single one of these characters on artifact builds. Unfortunately, as of right now, I don't have all of them. But eventually, we will have every single one of these characters on an absolutely cracked build. And that's kind of my account, guys. There's not too much else to see here. Every other character really has normal talents. There's nothing that interesting about my talents. I take them all to about 8-8, 7-7. They're all pretty ordinary. 6-6-6 for Scaramouche, Artaki Ito, 8-6-7. But yeah, that's about all my characters. If there's anything else you guys would be interested to see, please let me know in the comments below. Any other questions or concerns you may have about my account, let me know. I want to hear all your guys' thoughts. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of our video for today. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more in the future, please consider subscribing or leaving a like down below. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.